Let's tank Harjatan in the Tomb of Sargeras on normal and heroic difficulty. Now, a big part of this fight is positioning. There's two ways you can pretty much position the boss. You can position him either in the centre, which makes it so the ads spawn kind of all around you from set locations and they come into the middle. Or you can do it a bit easier, which we found, which was tanking near where an ad set spawns, so you can just pick them up straight away and then grip the other ads in on top of the boss. And then if there's any bad drenched water pools near the boss, you just move him a little bit away or put some markers up where the other ads spawn and just kite him to the next ad or spawn location. It's pretty much up to you as a guild how you want to do it, but we just found this way worked for us. So now we've got the position out of the way, let's look at his abilities. So the main tank ability you got to be aware of is Jagged Abrasion. And what happens here is he's going to put a debuff on the tank currently tanking him, which is going to bleed the target for 480,000 physical damage every 2 seconds for 30 seconds. This effect stacked. So we pretty much taunt swapped around 4 or 5 stacks, and that pretty much negated the whole debuff. It isn't really too much to worry about. The overall damage the boss does isn't too high, but when you get into like the 3rd to 5th stack, you want to be thinking about using a DR. Now his next ability we need to be wary of as tanks is called Unchecked Rage, and at 100 energy, the caster release all built up rage, inflicting 19 million physical damage, split between all enemies in a cone in front of the caster. Additionally, Unchecked Rage inflicts 4.7 million physical damage to the caster's current target if less than 5 enemies are hit. Harjatan casts Enraged. So all we did for this, we had the rage stack up on the boss's legs, and when he was about to cast Unchecked Rage, we just turned the boss facing the raid, hit everyone, and then turned him back around. Obviously, you ought to be popping some kind of DR for this as well, especially if you've got the bleed debuff at the same time. Next, the boss is going to summon 2 ads whenever he does Command in Raw. The first ad's called Razor Jaw Wave Mender, and what these ads do are cast Watery Splash, Drenched, and Aquatics Burst. Watery Splash is going to hit the target for 1,000,000 frost damage and apply a stack of Drenched. What Drenched does is put a debuff on the target, causing 100k frost damage every 2 seconds and increases frost damage taken by another 5%. And this ability stacks. An Aquatic Burst covers an enemy with freezing water which lasts 6 seconds. Upon expiration, the water explodes, inflicting 900k frost damage to all nearby enemies and leaving a pool of drenched waters at the enemy's locations. So if you get this on you, you just run out the raid and drop them off somewhere. You won't be getting this as the tank, however. Now, the Gladiator ad does Dripping Blade, which enchants the caster's weapon, causing melee attacks to apply drench to the target. Dripping Assault, where they're going to fixate random raid members. These raid members can either kite them, or you can use a defensive and just tank them. But really you want to kite them because you don't want to be getting too many stacks of drench from this ability. And they also do a Cleave, which again is another reason why you should probably want to kite these ads out. Now for these ads, as the tank not currently tanking Harjatan, you want to be stacking the ads up on the boss's butt. And if you've got abilities like grips and stuff, whenever the gladiators start focusing and charging after raiders and they're running them out, you can grip them back in just to get them down as quick as possible. You also want to be looking at stun locking them and interrupting any cast you're trying to do. And that's pretty much it for the ads. Just make sure you control them, get them on top of the boss for as much uptime and cleave damage as possible, and interrupt and stun lock when casts are going out. So another ability the boss is going to use is called Draw In, and what this does is he's going to suck in all the puddles around him that the ads have put on players, and these players have hopefully run out, and then he's just going to suck them in. Now you need to be aware of where these puddles are coming from in case they go over you, because obviously you don't want to be taking the excess damage, and also you might need to reposition the boss after this drawing power has happened because of the next ability called Frigid Blows. Now this ability gets empowered by the more waters he sucks in. So say he sucks 10 in, he's going to get 10 stacks. So this means for the next 10 melee hits, he's going to be doing Drenching Sloth, which basically for every melee attack he does, it's going to randomly target a raid member and shoot one of those puddles at them and inflict 1,000,000 frost damage. So for this, obviously you want your raid to not be stacked where you want them to stack normally, so make sure they're on one side of the boss or they're just totally away if they range at this point, just so you're not getting water all over the boss. But if that does happen, just reposition the boss to another area of the room. It's really not a big deal. And then finally, when he does his last Frigid Blows, the boss will cast Frosty Discharge, which will pretty much hit everyone in the raid for 250k frost damage. And obviously this damage is going to be more buffed by the amount of stacks of drench you've got on yourselves. So for every stack it's 5% extra damage. This stacks a lot if you're not interrupting and stuff, so it's going to be a big amount. But once the cast is over, if you survive it, all those stacks get removed and you repeat the whole boss fight again. Anyway guys, that's pretty much it for Harjatan. I hope you like my guide. Please like, comment and subscribe for more videos.